Welcome, dear friends. Warm welcome to all of you. And today we are going to have this beautiful topic, understand the psychosomatic medicine. Understanding the psychosomatic medicine. So that's the topic for today. And we also going to have a wonderful conversation with amazing masters. They're spiritual masters. At the same time, they're great healers. They're the medical experts, my dearest friends from Mumbai. So, Dr. Rajul and Dr. Jayesha. So, I visited their institute in Mumbai. They're practitioners of homeopathy. And not only that, they have taken homeopathy to the next level, into the very different level of quantum leap in homeopathy they have achieved. And now let us welcome Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jayesha. Wonderful pranams, Dr. Jayesh and Dr. Rajul. Warm welcome to both of you. It's wonderful to have you today with us. The entire QLU Sangha, Quantum Life University Sangha, really rejoices this moment. So, Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jaisha, today I'm going to have a beautiful interview with you, a conversation with you, because you both have so many experiences in the medical field and also in the spiritual field from the life itself. You are very wise beings. You are a wonderful couple. And not only that, it's much more. You took the homeopathy to the next level. I always admire your work. Whenever I hear your case studies, I really get the tears of joy. My heart opens fully, and we share some kind of common features, like you have such a clinical scientific temperament you always carry. And I request Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jayesha, please introduce yourselves and share how you came into the spiritual path. Even before that, how you came into medical path, and then you can share about your spiritual journey to all the viewers.
So I would just like to say that when I was born, my father was a meditator and was teaching yoga and meditation, and also a very keen homeopath. So you can say I'm almost born into this. But my initial years, till 12 years, I was meditating as a child, maybe till 13. But once I got into my teenage hormones, then I forgot all the meditation because there were many other interesting things that distracted me. However, my quest for meditation and my inner urges, which I had got from my father or maybe from my ancestors, got ignited when I first attended your workshop. And since then, my life has been before Dr. Newton and after Dr. Newton. And it has been amazing how I have been able to see.
It's wonderful to hear about. Yes, Dr. Rajul.
Yes, Dr. Newton, I'm so grateful to receive all this wisdom of spirituality and knowing the consciousness. And I remember that when I read this book, Consciousness Heals, before 13 years from you, and something clicked in me. I said, yes, this is what I think my quest for this life. And right from the childhood, I wanted to become a doctor. My father was also very proud that yes, my daughter becomes a doctor. And then actually, it is so interesting that when we had to enter into the medical field, there was 10 plus 2 system and the inter-science system. So two batches got together. And myself and Jayesh, we both were just less 2 marks to get into medical MBBS. And we both were in homeopathic college. And I have always been a student or a patient of a homeopathic treatment. We never had any allopathic doctor as our family physician. So this inspired me to become a homeopath, and I had full faith that these tiny pills can bring lot of miracle. And then I entered into this consciousness healing and going into probing into the root cause of all the diseases. And that inspired me, attending all your workshops. It was just wonderful.
That's amazing, Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jayesha, to hear that you were born in a family where already medicine is being practiced, homeopathy is being practiced,
Yes,
and I think
yes,
there's a fertile ground already prepared for you. Your soul has chosen to be born in that particular family, and it's so wonderful to hear
yes.
about it. And later on, you mentioned, Dr.
Hmm.
Jayesh, that you attended one workshop and then there is something that clicked in, something that transformed in you. And can you please share that experience with all the viewers?
Sir, that experience was in my very first workshop with you. That was in the Mayfair rooms near Worli in Mumbai. It was my first past life experience.
Wow.
And I remember that I dreamt that I got a vision that I'm a little boy who is run over by a truck, by a lorry. And I'm in some village and I die there under the truck. And then I, when you guided us that take yourself to that point when your soul parts your body, I feel that was the turning point of my life. Because at that point I started weeping with a feeling, what will my mother do when she comes to know that I am no more? And I started weeping and weeping. I had to remove myself out of the room. I remember I was in the waiting area of that resort or whatever you call it, the and I was crying and crying. And after everybody was over, after the workshop was over, remember that for 1 year after that, every afternoon, I used to cry with that vision. And I think that was very life transforming because for me, I understood that I am not just this Jayesh who is now, but I am much more than that.
Wow.
That I first understood that I am not just this time bound person, that there is something in me which is beyond this time, beyond this space. And that for me was the experience of my spirit or my soul or my essence or of my unlimitedness. That's the first time I realized what
Yes, Dr. Jayesh. It's so wonderful to hear about this transformation that happened when this vision of a past life memory surfaced in your consciousness. So, as a little boy. And later on, can you also share your journey further that happened?
surely, sure, Doctor.
Few more
Shall I begin
experiences.
or?
Few more examples.
Yes, yes.
I I can say that since that time, my life has changed in a significant way, because I started understanding, as I call it in my seminars, मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ? Why am I the way I am? मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ? That is my quest always. That why am I so stupid? Why am I so strange and peculiar? And why do I have some strange fears? And why do I have some strange actions and attitudes? And I think a whole box of understanding the true self, a way to understand a true self emerged. And that kind of combined with my approach in homeopathy, which is also a holistic science which tries to understand the mind and the body together as one unit, that I could understand what is happening in my body is what is happening in my mind, and the mind and the body is what is governed by the spirit. So I understood the mind body medicine or interaction in a very special way since then. Not just understand, I experience it. That's why I feel it different. That's why I say it is before Dr. Newton and after Dr. Newton, because the feeling is different.
Honored, very honored to hear about this experience.
The perception is different, sir. You perceive things in a very special way.
Yes, that's really wonderful, Dr. Jayesh, because you took the homeopathy to the next level. Already, homeopathy we consider is the most holistic way of approach towards the medical in the medicine. Means we want
Yes.
to find out what's going on inside the body. We have to see the person as a completely whole person, not treat only the leg or hand or some organ in the body. But I understand the homeopathy is such a holistic science. We consider it's completely a constitution. This whole system is treated and the remedy is selected.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I want you to tell some more insights that you could bring it into homeopathy field. Like I have seen some demonstrations of you, Dr. Jayesh, and it's always so wonderful. I admire your work that you do, like how you guide
I
people beyond time space.
because yes, because we see this this particular talk, our day to day is about the mind body medicine or psychosomatic connection. I would just like to share, Dr. Newton, a very simple example, very simple. A lady comes with very severe asthma, very chronic asthma. So when I ask her, okay, talk about your asthma, she says, I feel constricted and I feel restricted and I feel as if my breath is not allowed to go inside. I feel as if my chest is getting narrower. So I ask her, okay, tell me about this narrower, tell me about this constriction, tell me about this restriction. Now you can see these are all symptoms of the body. But are they really symptoms of the body? They are symptoms also of the mind. It is as if some mind is talking through the body. So when I asked her to talk about this restriction and constriction, to make the story short, she said that it felt as if I have got brown belts on my chest. That's okay, give these brown belts all your dry grass. I hope you can hear me. Brown color dry grass is
Yes.
brown color dry grass is on the floor. So I asked her, tell about this, and she says it reminds me of horses. And then in 2 minutes she starts crying for 1 hour. And she says these brown belts are constricting me.
Yes, Dr. Jayesh.
Yes, she talks about the whole story of the horse and gives the analogy of how she is dominated in her life by a master who is constricting her and her relationship with her mother. And it came to such a beautiful healing point in the journey. But it just tells us that how the mind and the body is one.
Wow. Wow, this is amazing.
In my research, what I have found is the most unconscious part of our being is our body. Our body is like the unconscious mind.
Yes. So true. So true.
You just need to listen to your body.
Wow.
Would you like to say something?
Dr. Rajul, you please
Very nice.
share some of your
So it is
wisdom.
this that our body talks. Our body is talking something. If we listen, it brings a lot of wisdom. As you have pointed out many times, that there is a cellular memory, that our cells know it all.
Mm. That's wonderful, wonderful. There's a cellular memory. The body remembers. Body has all the intelligence. And I like what you said about symptoms in the body are not really symptoms. They are also existing in the mind. The symptoms of the mind. The mind is expressed, or the unconscious mind is actually not separate from our body. They're one, intricately connected. Both are connected. And
Yes.
yes, Dr. Jayesh, and now Dr. Rajul, I want to ask you a few questions. Want to know from you about any kind of experience which is like a really a beautiful experience that you experienced in the medical field.
Again, get me the question. What was a beautiful experience in the medical field?
Medical field, yes.
Yes, I can give you three examples in very short. There have been the three things in my life which inspire me.
Hmm.
One was a woman with a very severe rheumatoid disease, not simple, very severe rheumatoid disease. After a meditative process, she was on crutches for 6 years. She left the crutches and started walking like normal, and it remained like this for many years.
Hmm.
So this was to me a very deep experience that consciousness heals.
Yes.
The second experience was of a multiple sclerosis, a woman who was very disabled with multiple sclerosis. After a very profound session, her multiple sclerosis completely disappeared, and for 4 or 5 years now, she's totally asymptomatic.
Wow.
And the third case was a boy who was totally blind, and in no way he could have seen because he had a very difficult disease called Fanconi's anemia, and his all the faculties of his vision had disappeared, and he was sure to die. He could not see for many years. And actually, after the session, when he came 1 month after the session for a follow up, his eyesight was completely normal, which, as a medical person, I know this is not possible. How this boy started seeing? He doesn't have the equipment to see. So I believe that there is a deeper seer within. We don't understand that completely. But how we can, if we can do it in one person, we can do it more often.
Excellent, excellent, Dr. Jayesh. Wow, these are stunning.
It brings hope in
Yes,
every hopeless situation.
there is hope for everyone. Dr. Rajul, can you share something?
Yes. So I also work on the similar principles because as we come from the homeopathic background, and the philosophy of homeopathy is what to see in a patient, or what to see in a disease, what needs to be treated in the disease. And that is what made me think later on when I was more into the spiritual science studies and research in that. And somewhere I could connect myself because I also underwent lot of experiences when I attended workshops and with other teachers also. And the ultimate understanding came to me that if we can focus on our emotions, I work very much with emotions. These emotions are mainly stored in our subconscious mind in a form of past experiences, as we also look in for past regression therapy, past life therapies, that all these that we experienced in any time and space, somewhere it revives, it comes on surface, and we experience, and that heals. And that is exactly what homeopathy is. That like cures like. So I found it so interesting that this past life therapies and these other modalities where we acknowledge emotions, and when they dissolve very easily in meditative processes, it is exactly like practicing homeopathy, giving a right scientific remedy. So I feel it is one step deeper than even homeopathy. And
Yes.
with my patients, with great success and grace of God and all teachers of mine, uh, it gives wonderful results so easily and very smoothly. They uh, go into journey within, they are inside, and then the resolution happens as we all know consciousness heals.
Yes.
So in few cases I would like to express in addictions, like many people have addiction of nicotine consuming. It could be like gutka or manikchand, or in a form of smoking, or in a form of rajnigandha, anything nicotine consuming, because that gives them some kick to accomplish their task, to become more creative in their work. So this association in the subconscious mind creates a strong craving, and it creates more, and they cling to these substances. And when we work with these emotions, which is underlying this clinginess to the substances, that if I won't be able to perform well, I will be rejected, or people will look down upon me. I'll be all alone in this world. Anything, I'm not good enough, I'm undeserving. All these things, Dr. Newton, I've learned
Mhm.
from you in self mastery workshop. So that has integrated into my working, day to day work with patients. And when I work with these emotions at the root cause, with some emotion releasing process or some meditative process, and the patient addiction is gone right there in the first session or maybe in the second session,
Mm.
and then they feel that now we are not dependent on these substances. We can have whenever we feel like, but it is not compulsion for me. And this is what gives me so much of happiness and fulfillment, that this nicotine substance and the dependency caused it came from something else, that I am not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm looked down upon, I'm rejected. And that is the root cause, the core issue. And that is when released or treated, the patient is automatically also, they don't need the support of these
Mm.
drugs or these substances. So this is a very interesting way. And another few examples I would like to give. Suppose frozen shoulder. Patient come with frozen shoulder. it is very important they undergo physiotherapy and all this homeopathic treatment also and other modalities. But when we dig into it, that what causes it, and each patient has their own story underlying, because we all know that whatever pain or disease, that is nothing but the extension of our subconscious drama, extension of all our unresolved, disturbed emotions. So I ask them, so somebody will say it means that I don't have freedom. Somebody will say it means that I'll become dependent on my family members, and what if they don't look after me? And then there is a fear of being alone or rejected or not given importance. So when I work with these emotions, the frozen shoulder has no reason to exist because we are connected to these feelings. And this is how I work in my practice, and the knowledge and understanding that how our inner drama and unresolved emotions at subconscious level creates physical disease or a chronic disease at the level of gross body.
It's
Many
amazing.
times I explain to my can I say, yeah, so many times I explain to my patients that, see, it is all that when these emotions come up, all the hormones and enzymes they secrete and go with the blood and reaches to each and every cell, and this cell receives the message of fear or fear of dependency or fear of being alone, whatever, the joy, the love, everything. So when these hormones are secreted because of emotions, these cells also behave in that some weird way, or the physiology changes, and when they regenerate after a few weeks, they are like a copy paste. So when they regenerate, they are like a xerox of the previous messages or intelligence, and therefore we experience the physical disease in our body. And therefore I feel that when we can work at the root level of emotions and dissociate this the unresolved emotions and the drama at the subconscious level, and there are very good, very fulfilling, you can see the cure or healing, because it becomes whole. We somewhere acknowledge and integrate our unresolved part. So it becomes a whole and it becomes a healing.
Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Rajul.
Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Rajul.
Thank you.
Sir, before we go ahead, I have one request. There is one request I have, sir.
Sure,
That
sure, please.
I want to once have one. Today you are asking me all these questions, but I want one session where I will keep on asking you questions for 2 hours on behalf of all our group of therapists.
Sure, Dr. Jayesh. It's so
Sure.
good. Definitely. We will have such a
There are so
session.
many of my friends and colleagues I can imagine now. I don't name everybody, but all those who have learned from you, we have many questions that we want to ask you one day.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So for a while, I'll be asking you to just watch the slideshow, and I'll get back to you. I'll ask. I have few more things to ask you, so you can stay online. So, dear friends, we
Okay.
just heard Dr. Jayesh and Dr. Rajul. Both of them, they are such pioneers pioneering work in these times where the diseases, illnesses are rampant and it's really widespread right now. Whatever the pandemic that is scaring people around the globe, somewhere we all need to approach medicine in a different way. We need to understand it's not the body medicine that really can support the healing process. The true healing is always comes from when we approach our entire self as a whole and complete self, total self. The body, mind, emotions, our ego, our personality structure, and our consciousness at large are inseparable. They're all one system. So we need to have a thorough understanding about it. That's why I say it is the integrated medical care that is most important. Integrated medical care is, for example, we have allopathy, we have homeopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, and acupuncture. We have color therapy, thought therapy, and aura therapy, and meditation therapy, past life regression therapy, whatnot. There are inner child healing, emotional healing. Almost we can list out around more than thousands of modalities of healing available in the world. But this integrated approach is bringing all of them to come together. Everything has its own role to play. We can't undermine any system as less and something else as great, because in the existence, in the universe, there is something that has come up. That means it has some kind of role to play. So, for example, right now, what we are doing with crops, we know the plants, crops that we grow, the rice, the paddy field, and the wheat that we grow. And we have come to the time where we are using pesticides and chemicals to kill some kind of microbes or viruses that affects the rice and wheat fields. So we can't do anything about it. We need to use those kinds of stuff. Otherwise, the farmers are losing the crops. And slowly our land, our whatever the soil is losing the fertility completely. All the nutrients, all that is gone, and this pesticides and chemicals, poisonous molecules is entering into the whatever the vegetables also, all the leaves, green leafy vegetable that we cook, and all those vegetables that we eat. All these the chemicals are entering and we are consuming that kind of food. So we know that there is a value. Definitely there are a lot of productivity, a lot of produce comes out when you use a pesticide, but in the long run it fails. We can compare that with our whatever the allopathic medicine, because I'm a trained allopathic doctor, and I know the value of it. When it comes to emergency medicine, critical care, we need to take the critical care. Someone is in a kind of shock or respiratory distress, they're about to collapse, they need a kind of ventilator support, they need a medical support. At that time we have to rush to casualty medicine. So, but in the long run, if we only depend on this, definitely it will have its consequences. We can see the examples right now in the world. We are becoming more aware that less usage of the chemicals. We are almost buying everyone organic fruits, organic vegetables, everything organic. We want to buy the products from the natural farming. In the same way, we can take the same analogy. Even our body knows how to heal itself. If we can provide the real conditions for its self-healing. So there are many self-healing modalities which can join along with allopathic medicine. Allopathy medicine joins with all other complementary medicines all together, one common umbrella. It's called integrated medical care. That is going to be so useful. It will help the humanity. So dear friends, Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jayeshad, they were sharing about their profound experiences, how the mind, when you take care of something that's happening in your mind at the emotional field, emotional level, something shifts in the body, and our consciousness is residing in beyond time space. We can access that real consciousness of us, so that we can find the solution. We can always find the solution. And we have heard so many miraculous kind of medically impossible cases which receives sometimes cures, amazing miracles in the medical field. Dr. Jayesha himself was sharing about this blind boy who was blind, how he could get back his vision. Something it is, our minds must open to study what is this beyond. Right now, the whole globe, we are studying about disease, illness. We are researching a lot, billion dollars, trillions of dollars fund is there to research about illness and disease and microbes and all this. But I feel we also must research about health, research about healthy people, why people are healthy, why certain people stay in such a great health, what is happening in their body, what kind of thought process they have, what kind of consciousness levels they have. We need to study about the health, what factors promotes the healing process. So dear friends, today this topic can be an eye opener to all the globe, entire medical field, and everyone. Actually, everyone can become an inner doctor. An inner doctor can be awakened, because there are self-healing modalities. Through meditation practice, one can heal themselves naturally. I'm not saying that you should not visit a doctor. When you really require, you must visit a doctor. We must take help. But first, we need to try on our own through meditation. So the future of us is nothing but the psychosomatic medicine. It is showing the way. Already we know from almost few decades, the medical science throughout the globe is shifting radically. A lot of medical revolutions are happening, discoveries, amazing discoveries. So psychoneuroimmunology, mind-body connections, and the placebo therapy, and all the doctors were really doing a lot of research about it. Why certain people are responding, why there some are not responding, in spite of all the antibiotics, all the chemicals that are injected into their bodies, people are not responding. Why certain people, without even medication, just with naturally, very naturally, they're able to heal themselves? Why in this current situation of pandemic, why coronavirus, why certain people are being affected? Even though corona positive cases, not everyone is symptomatic. There are many people who have corona positive, but they're completely asymptomatic. Not even a respiratory challenge, not even any kind of temperature raise, just asymptomatic. Why it is? What is happening? So to understand it, this is important to know ourselves fully, who we are. So psychoneuroimmunology is a medical branch of science where we are understanding about the connections between this mind, the psychology of us, at the same time with the neurological system, our brain, our hardware, which can really give commands to our entire body, which is almost like a controlling the entire neural circuitry, this brain that we have in the skull, and our immune system. They are all connected, very deeply, intricately connected. I add to the psychology another point, that's consciousness, the soul, the spirit, the consciousness is also intricately connected. When you bring a shift in your own consciousness, generally our consciousness is at a very, very basic physical level of consciousness. Mostly we're gripped with the survival fears. We have so much fear psychosis, and our consciousness level is experienced as a very limited level, and we don't tap into what is that untapped energy that we all have. So that's why we need to add to psychoneuroimmunology consciousness psychoneuroimmunology, or soul psychoneuroimmunology, because they're all connected. And I was impressed with the work done by this master, Dr. Candace Pert. She was a medical scientist, a researcher, who was really dedicated her whole life for understanding about the emotions and how these emotions are transforming to certain molecules in the body. So it's amazing work done by her, and she authored a book called Molecules of Emotions. And you know what she has done? She has taken the biochemical samples, analyzed people who are sad, people who are happy, people who are depressed, in different states of mind, different states of consciousness. She has done the biochemical analysis, research, and she published amazing book. So dear friends, this is something very interesting, the tears of joy and tears of sadness, which I really liked from her research work. She collected the tear samples, the tear drops, from people who are looking at a sad movie and they're emoting. A lot of sad tears are coming out. They collected the samples and they analyzed it. They want to know what is the composition, what kind of molecules, chemicals are there in that sadness, the tears of sadness. The same group of individuals, people, were shown now all those nice comedy movies, and Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy, and children playing, children laughing, and everyone is full of joy, and tears of joy were coming out. And she collected those samples too and analyzed. She found a big change, completely a different chemical composition. That means just not even a matter of few minutes before they were sad, seeing the sad kind of video clippings. Now they are happy, emoting all the happiness, and now the molecules are completely different. That means our emotions, our thoughts, and our current moments, whatever you are thinking, it is going to affect your body chemistry. Your biochemistry is affected. Your physiology is affected. So it's such a beautiful research she has done. So it is showing us that it is not just unscientific, and to say that psychosomatic medicine is still in the progress. No, there are enough medical doctors have done amazing research about it throughout the globe. Dr. Jayesha and Dr. Rajal are pioneers in this field, coming from the homeopathy background, and they have dedicated their lives for this. Because I came to know about homeopathy at a later point of time, but if I have come to know about homeopathy when I was 17-year-old, I would have joined a homeopathic medical course, not allopathic medical science, because because I have read Dr. Jayesh Shah's literature. He presented me his book, Periodic Table, And one book that you have presented me, Dr. Jayesh, is all the case studies. When I read those case studies, it's astonishing. And what a holistic science, medical science, homeopathy is. Dr. Samuel Hahnemann was initially was not acknowledged by the medical fraternity. It took almost hundreds of years to understand the work of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who is the founder of homeopathy. So, dear friends, it's so important at this point of time that to understand about this psychosomatic nature of us. So I have come across certain self-healing modalities through my journey of life, because my journey of life began with all the challenges, all the triggers, and that's why I want to find out the tools. I want to find out the solutions. Every problem has actually made me to tap into my unlimited potential. It only awakened me. Every problem really helped me only. From childhood, all the issues of mine that I carried, I tried to search for the solution. The first modality that I have come across is past life regression and future life progression. This was something which is my favorite, my heart, because I came into meditation path in a full way, completely dedicated myself to this spiritual path, because after I have done some kind of research about reincarnation memories, because I have experienced my past lives. And when I conducted some kind of experiments with others, taking them into their past life memories, it's something amazing that happened, because people could speak the language of the past life. Some people could recover from their medical illnesses, and it is impossible. Certain cases are medically impossible. Doctors said it's impossible, but there were certain kinds of healings that are inexplicable that happened, that opened my mind to study about this science, past life regression science. And friends, almost around the globe there are thousands and thousands of pioneers who has done independent research about these reincarnation memories. Whether someone believes about reincarnation or not doesn't matter, but still the research findings are showing that it is helping everyone, whoever, whether they are believers or non-believers. The memories that they are recalling, it's helping them, because somewhere we may not believe totally about the law of karma and reincarnation, but still these images, visions that pops up into a mind, they're helping people. Dr. Jayesha shared about his profound experience about this, a little boy, his own experience, how that has transformed. He understood his other self. There's a greater self of him which lived several incarnations. Several is not just this self. This personality self is only one aspect of us, but there are many other aspects of us. We are such holistic beings. So I find this past life regression is also a great tool in psychosomatic medicine, because whatever stuff that we are carrying in our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind, many lifetimes of memories, all that, when you bring it up into your consciousness handles that stuff. It knows how to heal it. We find the solution for it. And the second modality of healing, the inner child work, this is another important area which I always find people getting benefited medically and mentally, psychologically, in many levels. And almost it opens the doorway for their essence, their consciousness, because inner child work is deconditioning all the layers of conditioning that we have acquired from this current life childhood. and all the personality traits that we have, all those emotions which are, unresolved, unfinished, which are buried inside us, all that stuff. When you are deconditioning yourself, the inner child healing process, it is something very, very beautiful, friends. And I found people really healing. I can share so many case studies about it. One case study is about a woman who had all the kinds of problems with her femininity, like a female related issues, menstrual cycle disturbances, and her uterus started developing the fibroids and all that. Immediately, my first question was, when I interviewed her first, I asked her, is there something that happened in your childhood? She said that my mother wanted a boy child, but I'm born as a girl child. My mother always wanted a boy child. My father always treated me like a boy. And in the childhood, I have to reject my femininity. I have to dress up like a boy. I have to please my parents. I have completely disowned my female self. And at a very younger age, I went through a molestation process. My sexual boundaries are violated by one of my neighbors who took advantage. From that time, completely I rejected. Being a female, it's a curse. That's what she came into conclusion. Being born as a female is really a curse. Only cursed people will be born as females. That's what I really believed at that point of time. I rejected completely. I shut down my femininity. And as she grew up, she started really having these kinds of endocrine problems, a lot of problems, menstrual problems. And at certain stage, her problems are getting worse. She came to the age of marriage. Parents were forcing her to marry, but she says, no, I don't want to get married. She was refusing to be married. And when she did the inner child session, what she found out is all these things which I shared with you. She healed. She went and embraced the inner child. She told to the inner child, it's okay that you're born as a girl. I'm glad that you're born as a girl. It's a celebration. And even the violation of her boundaries, she healed. It was like a secret for her. She never even told to the parents, never told to anyone. It's like a very shaming for her. She was blaming herself. She was feeling guilty. She was feeling impure, unclean. And she could completely heal herself through the inner child work. All her menstrual irregularities and all her fibroids that started developing, completely everything, completely within few months time, she recovered from everything. So just one case study, many of the people, all the illnesses, most of the illnesses need not be connected with the past life memory. It is stemming from this current life past. Even this current life past itself also is a past. Our subconscious mind stores this information and it brings back to us. Why? Because it wants to heal. Whatever suppressed fears, suppressed emotions, suppressed memories, it will have a kind of consequence on us in the current life. It affects the current moments. That's why always we need to know that we are the healers who can heal that whatever suppressed content, suppressed material inside, which is stored inside subconscious mind, and we can access it. It's not really difficult to access it. It's simple. Only thing, our readiness is important. Many of us, we feel very scared about approaching subconscious mind. Oh, if I open this Pandora's box, what will come up? I don't know. So they're very scared. But I tell you, friends, it's such a freedom. When once you are ready, your subconscious mind, every memory you can access, and all that which is disowned aspects of you, emotions which are trapped in you. When they come up, a lot of energy you recover. It's the energy which you're blocking inside you. So the third modality of healing is family constellation. It's also, I really love this modality of healing. It's a self-healing process. It's a psychosomatic medicine. And we know from medical science that there is genetics, hereditary disorders. Every doctor that you go to, doctor asks the history of your family. Is there a family history of cancer, family history of psychological, these kind of behaviors, some kind of problems? They ask that history. Why? Because we know about genetics, how the genes are transmitting the information. So from our forefathers, the information is being transmitted. We generally feel so incapacitated when you think about hereditary disorders. So many limitations. But now medical science have come up with a beautiful new discovery. It's called epigenetics. That means epigenetics means your genes are can be turned on and can be turned off. For example, the gene which is expressing the cancer, a colon cancer that's running in the family tree, that gene which is expressing itself as colon cancer can be turned off. Then it will not be expressed. That means the way you think, your attitude, the way you look at things, your emotional reality is altered. If you change that, the genetic expression is changing. This is something very beautiful branch of science. So the family constellation is a beautiful way where we represent all the family system, our ancestors and everyone. We understand where is it coming from, which generation you find a resonance. These resonances always work. For example, somebody in your past previous generation, like your ancestor who killed himself, but is like a secret. No, he is like an exclusion. All secrets are excluded in the family tree. So anything which is excluded will be included. So that forefather who killed himself, suicide, is kept as a secret. After 2 generations, someone will remember that, because energetically they will resonate with that energy field of that ancestor. They will almost like behaving like that grandfather who committed suicide, who has suicidal tendency, who has a tendency to be depressed, and they bring up all that excluded secret into the forefront of everyone. Now the family system will be shaken up. So it's so important to look at these kinds of things and change our perception now, because that forefather, that grandfather, whatever is the exclusion that happened, now you need to include. So many people who are excluded in our previous generations, many people were, not given the place in the family tree. Their belongingness is lost. They were excluded. So that's why I say most of the exclusions also can result into illnesses, most of the exclusions in our family system. So family constellation is a beautiful modality which can help in healing process. I have come across many people who could heal. The many people who healed. The one stunning case was glaucoma, the medical condition glaucoma, and that lady got completely cured with that. When we seen that many generations before, this is like a pattern in the family tree, a transgenerational pattern. She was loyal to her family tree. There is an unconscious loyalty. There is a blind love, binding love to all those previous generations. So she carried all the legacy. She said, how can I be different? In the constellation, when she was asked to honor all the ancestors by changing the blind love to the enlightened love. Enlightened love says that in the honor of all of you, my dear ancestors, I heal this medical condition. I live differently. I pass on new genetics to my future generations. So that decision, that conclusion, that new understanding, it affects our genetic expression. So friends, it's still evolving branch of science, family constellation. The founder of this modality of healing, the German master Bert Hellinger, Sophie Hellinger, amazing work they have done. And the fourth one that I have come across is Leonard Orr, who is the founder of this modality of healing, rebirthing breathwork, pioneering work. When I first went through this process, almost many years, 2 decades back, I went through the rebirthing process. 10 sessions. I did the rebirthing sessions. 5 dry sessions, 5 underwater sessions with a snorkel. Such phenomenal change. I could heal my womb memory. We also carry fetal conditioning. Even from the time when we are actually conceived as a zygote, there are many people, many children, they carry conception trauma. Some they carry the gestation trauma, all the 9 months period of time that we stay inside the womb. And some they carry birth trauma, some they carry perinatal, after you're born, first few years, 2-3 years of your time, a lot of imprinting happens. Breathwork is a very powerful modality to heal these fetal memories. So this is also, I found it's very useful, dear friends. And life between lives regression is another modality of healing. I can say that it's also like a Brahmastra, means it's a final modality of healing which can give us the grand big picture, and which makes us understand our soul knows about all the possibilities. Our soul even selects certain limitations to go through here. This is something very radical and revolutionary about the life between life regression. If we know that many of the problems were chosen by our own soul, even before we incarnated, it completely shifts. Because we chosen the problems because we want to tap into our unlimited potential. We want to bring out our complete potential out. It's something very, very beautiful. When I gone through my own LBL sessions, my soul plan was so clear. My soul plan, all the limitations is part of my script I have written. I want to experience abandoned feeling in this life. That's why in the childhood I have to go through it, because it has made me to come into study spirituality. It is my trigger which motivated me from inside to find answers. So life between lives, we find very interesting discoveries, and it's like a final blow of healing that is given by LBL regression therapy. The pioneer, Dr. Michael Newton, he is the founder. He actually done such amazing research work about life between lives. So dear friends, our quantum physics also now is coming up with new understandings, because quantum physics can be applied in quantum healing methods. Quantum medicine means the quantum principles can be applied in the medical field. When we apply it, we understand that solutions are creating the problems. We generally think that problems are just randomly coming. The God is cursing, or somebody is cursed, there's no curse and no blessing. Actually, already we are blessed only. The way we look at things, it alters, it can affect what we are creating here. LBL sessions, we understand this principle, how you created everything. You are the in charge. You are the master of your life. Even though there is an illness right now, still we should never lose the hope, dear friends. Explore, explore yourself, explore about this illness, explore what is this illness is teaching you, why your soul has chosen to experience it, what are the lessons that you want to learn, what is that potential in you that you want to bring it up. So the final modality of healing, all from the very beginning I was very fascinated, is about meditation. Meditation is like, I have found lakhs of meditators and I heard their experiences. Just meditation is a self-healing. Some, they can't heal themselves, they need additional support, the support system like past life regression, because a lot of defense mechanisms we have, resistance. We don't want to heal ourselves, because healing also means taking responsibility. It's very difficult for people. Healing, self-healing means you need to be responsible for your life. You also need to be learning your lessons. You need to live differently. Self-healing means many, they don't want to be healed. Some of us, we manifest illnesses because we are avoiding certain things in our life. We avoid responsibilities mostly. Oh, if my body is healthy, I have to clean the floor, I have to cook the food, and I have to do. Now I have an excuse. Now I have arthritis. I can say to my mother, Mom, Mama, I have arthritis. I have body pains. I can say all these things. I don't want to get healed. Some, they try to have these kind of strong defenses they have around, which prevents them to heal themselves. That's why meditation, I found a lot of people, only 50% of meditators, they heal themselves. But even though many, they meditate 20 years, still they have the same kinds of illnesses, because the resistances, defense mechanisms are strong. Then those people need experts' help. We need to consult an expert, Dr. Jayesh Shah, Dr. Rajol, because with experts' help, we can really look deeper. Sometimes we don't look deeper enough. A subconscious mind is very tricky. We don't want to look at that stuff. So we need to be aware of this, dear friends, these defenses and why we don't want to heal ourselves. One thing that I want to share with all of you is, you are not at the mercy of your past. Though past is affecting the present moment, you are not at the mercy of the past. You are a champion, a master of past, present, future. You are the creator of your own reality. Your personal reality is shaped by your own self. You can mold, you can shape, you can sculpt in whatever way you can. So sometimes when we think about the past, it really feel we are feeling scared. That's why many of times past life regression, childhood regression, womb regression, people are very scared. They don't want to look at the past. They think it's going to make them feel regrets, guilt, and other things. But no, it's not. You're always the master of your past. And you can reframe your understanding the way you look at the past now. The memories which really created trauma to you, after you understand them, after you reframe your understanding, those memories, you will be thanking those tough memories. You say, because of you, my dear memory in the past, I became such a compassionate, empathic, and spiritual being. We thank our past also. Those people who can thank their past, make peace with the past, then past is gone. It's completely erased. And also, we are not at the mercy of the subconscious mind. Remember, though subconscious mind is the power, it is the great power that exists here. All the memories which are forgotten, they are residing in the subconscious mind. And it is not controlling us, friends. Your consciousness is the controller. And your consciousness is much vast. One tiny aspect is subconscious. And you are not at the mercy of it. Your conscious mind, along with your larger consciousness that you have, can coach, teach subconscious mind different way. For example, all the programs you carrying in subconscious mind, you can look at the program, your illness program. It's called biological conflicts program, biological programs. We have many things. All those programs, you can change it. We are not at the mercy of the subconscious mind. Remember, dear friends. At this point of time, I request Dr. Jayesha, Dr. Rajul to throw some light on this. Can you speak what we have just
Yes, sir. Can you can you hear me? There is a very interesting phenomena or understanding that we have come to, and that is a phenomena of resonance, that the modern medicine as function, structure, and chemistry. There is something wrong in your function that changes your structure, that changes your chemistry, or something wrong in your chemistry changes your function and changes your structure. Like this, in a circle, there is either a disturbance in the function or the structure or the chemistry. That's how the modern looks at disease. Now, if we look at holistic sciences, which includes homeopathy, then there is one more element, Dr. Newton, there. And what is that element? That homeopathy or other holistic sciences, what is the difference between a modern medicine and other sciences like homeopathy? We may say holism, we look at a person at a whole, we look at individual different problems. Difference. That difference is that homeopathy and other holistic sciences see that there is a chemistry, there is a function, there is a structure, but plus there is an electromagnetic field that we call as force or vital force. In homeopathy, we call it mind, body, and vital force, or the life force. That the disturbance is in this life force. Now, this life force is a kind of an electromagnetic energy which one can feel very easily if he puts one palm facing down and one palm facing up, and then you go like this and then do it like this for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, I would say 1 minute, and then just feel this. You'll be able to feel your electromagnetic energy. Now, when we look at disease, or when we look at ease or disease or functioning, chemistry, structure plus the electromagnetic energy is the vibrations. It's that life force is somewhat holographic. It is there everywhere in your body, and it is nowhere in your body. It can be compared to an etheric body. It is a sukshma, subtle, it is there everywhere. But that life force is vibrating, that life force is resonating. It's a subtle energy, and that becomes an interface to interact with all the other subtle energies. So that electromagnetic field, it's a part of the vibrational energy medicine. You know, you must have read this book, Vibrational Medicine, where he's described very beautifully also homeopathy as a part of it. That these vibrations resonate with multiple fields. So there can be one field which is an ancestral field. So you draw a resonance ancestral field. You draw a resonance from the past life field. And 3, you can draw resonance from plant, animal, and mineral field. And this resonance is what affects the function, the chemistry, and the structure. So what therapists like us do therapy, what we have learned from you and what we do as a homeopath, and what so many other meditative therapists, so many of my colleagues I see here with whom I have done my courses, my greetings to all of them. But what we are trying to do is trying to create that resonance, bring the resonance to the surface, bring it to a deeper awareness, even deeper awareness. At one point, it resolves. So all the meditative methods, it be a inner or breath work or family constellation, as you said, doctor, beautifully, in one of the very recent workshops that we conducted, we found that a lady had at least 18 to 20 tumors in her breast. They were benign tumors, but she had 18, 20 stone-like tumors, fibroadenomas, for many years. And one of the main things that came up in the family constellation was that how she has given up her femininity completely. And during the processes, somehow she felt so healed that on the last day of the workshop, she said that, "Sir, I want to share that I don't have any tumor in my breast just now."
Wow.
Wow. Nothing. She said, "I can feel my breast has no tumors." Means when you resonate with something very deep from where it has come, somehow some innate intelligence of the life force takes over. And what we have learned from you, Dr. Newton, is how to hold space for that to occur. How to have, apart from all the knowledge and technical knowledge that we gain about how to conduct a therapy, we have got from a deeper wisdom how to trust the consciousness and how to create this resonance. Because we have seen you spend hours during this seminar with us and with so many of us who have been there, and how you ultimately, how it comes, because the life force always is ready to heal. The life force is a beautiful, beautiful phenomena which wants to heal. But all these healing modalities, when they integrate, in the same moment you can say it is like a past life. In the same moment you see this is generational. In the same moment you see this is like an animal. In the same moment you see this is life between life contract. In the same moment you see it as an inner child problem. Somehow everything comes together when you look at it deeply, and when that happens, it brings a big transformation. All wisdom comes together, and all wisdom lies in understanding that it is not only the body and it's not only the mind, that there is something more, which is this vibrational energy, which is the electromagnetic field, which is the etheric body, or which is something that is interacting with so many other fields that are outside. And the field that we are similar to, we resonate with. That's where homeopathy comes in.
Yes.
That there are many, many fields, and somehow you are resonating with some things, and that resonance, the healing.
Yes.
And then the vibrations change. And when the vibrations of the electromagnetic field changes, then the mind changes, then the function changes, then the structure changes, then the chemistry changes.
Yes.
So that is how I can explain. Otherwise, how can a blind person start seeing, and how can tumors disappear in a 3-day seminar? Is just a phenomena that has not been enough researched and acknowledged. There are many doctors who are now like, You Are the Placebo book, for example, explains how this happens. Dr. Joe Dispenza, wonderful mass application of this vibrational medicine. So I think we have learned from you how, when I understood how the past life works, and how the generational works, and how the plant, animal, mineral works with homeopathy, and then how the LBL works, somehow everything comes together, doctor. Everything comes together. Because if one thing heals, everything can heal. If you can heal yourself with one deeper way, many things around it heal, because it's a hologram.
Yes.
It's wonderful, Dr. Jayesh. It's wonderful to hear about the resonances that you have found. At the different levels, there are resonances.
Yes.
Yes, so somewhere I
Could
feel
they?
it's giving some energy or some healing to the roots, and then the whole tree is different.
So the future also lies in this, what you showed as the quantum healing. That's an amazing phenomena. Also, how you look at disease. If you look at a tumor like a tumor, it will create another reality, versus when you look at this tumor as loss of femininity in childhood or from some another time dimension. That means you have looked at this phenomena in another way. So you have already created a possibility for healing. That's what quantum physics says, the observer effect. And all of us as who have been under you, all the homeopaths also, they look at disease in another way. Just by our looking, we are already possibility for change.
Very true, Dr. Jayesh and Dr. Roger. It's so wonderful to exchange our notes, our whatever the research work, because it will help everyone, all the our friends here, because many of them also into spiritual path, and they're also therapists who are now participating today. It also is it's really good to understand about these exchange of experiences. Yes,
It's a joy.
something
It's a joy to meet all these brothers and sisters, guru brothers and guru sisters.
very good. That's wonderful, Dr. Jayesh. And
Dr. Newton, it is like a soul sangha. It is like same soul family. When I see all these people, I feel like a same soul family.
so true, so true, very true. So, Dr. Jayesh, one more question I want to ask you. And because I put the mic in a mute for a while when I'm talking, otherwise echo is coming.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
that's I think yes. So the question is about how you brought the information about past lives, about the childhood, and you are expert in finding the medicine, homeopathic remedy, like a plant or mineral or animal. You understand from where, which kingdom they are resonating with. So, can you share about this, Dr. Jayesh?
can I demute? Okay. The unconscious mind always speaks. So you just need to be listening. Because when a client or anybody comes, is actually always the unconscious mind is expressing, from the way he greets you, from the way he makes an appointment, from the way he says good morning, to the time that he leaves the office. He all his unconscious mind is expressed. Now my forte, after I have been with you and gone through many sessions with you, has been that this discovery, give attention to what is disturbing him the most. So it can be even hair loss, or it can be a small wart, or it can be a mother-in-law, or it can be a husband, or it can be a tumor, or whatever. or a situation or money or whatever disturbs you the most is the thing that giving the most vibration. So what I do is I allow the person to give a lot of attention to that vibration, because in that they start resonating with what their life force or what their life consciousness wants to resonate with. So I have a kind of a free method. I just hold space and say, okay, give this all your attention. And spontaneously the person starts resonating with whatever is the tip of the eye or whatever is the immediate field that is kicking. So sometimes it is a generational field. And the person says, when you are asking me this, I am thinking of my grandfather. And then I know that I have to take a generational approach in this. Or the person will feel, I feel as if I am tied and squeezed and somebody is beating me. Then I know this looks like a plant, animal, mineral kind of an issue. Or somebody will say very specific that, somebody has actually tied me up and he is there and he is persecuting me. There is a story or a drama. Then I know it is a past life. So that's how I allow resonance. And for me, the thing that works the best is when it comes spontaneously, intensely, clearly, without my guiding it. From you, all the finesses that we have seen you do in our workshops, I apply all of them. And then whatever modality is applicable in that situation, I use that modality for furthering that healing. Or sometimes I combine multiple modalities. I have had cases in that same session he went into a transgenerational healing, and in the same session he experienced a intense plant way of feeling this problem. And that person is amazing how he heals in the moment, because all the resonances are similar. They may look different, but they are similar. So if you heal one very deeply, very likely that you have removed a lot of dis-ease feeling in a person.
Dr. Jayesh, I have been observing your sessions almost for many years, and the way you really conduct a session, it is so admirable. If whoever watches, even a lay person also, it's like in front of them they see that how these layers will be dropped. They can watch it, it's like your demonstrations of these things are so easy to understand, even a lay person can understand. I have seen many times when you showed these video presentations, when you visited Europe, Germany and certain countries, with one woman who is paralyzed, who was in the wheelchair. When you started conducting the session, she walked and she could rise from the wheelchair, she could walk, and it's stunning, it's amazing. So certain things really we lack any kind of logical, we can't explain them logically. With the reasoning, rationality, we can't explain how the healing happened, but finally end result is the healing that happened. Why, what and how? Sometimes it's a kind of mystery, it's a very deep mystery. I always see that element of a beautiful mystical element in all your sessions, Dr. Jayesh. And I was there almost many of the PLRC, past life regression conferences that we conducted. You are always there as a speaker. Always you are a presenter. You are presenting case studies. Every time I was lucky to watch your sessions. And in Pyramid Valley, that's amazing to see your session. Many occasions, it's always fantastic how you brought these sciences together Your great expertise is homeopathy to bridging all the sciences together, even at transpersonal sciences, the science of consciousness, the soul, how you brought everything to a beautiful understanding. You made it like a beautiful garland. I appreciate for all the services you're offering, Dr. Jayesh, Dr. Rajul. I always hear such a fantastic feedback from the people that they approach for healing, and some of them are our own Sangha members who always gives me the feedback. Amazing sessions. They always tell something great about you. And Dr. Jayesha, also I want to hear. Yes, yes. Please go on. Go on. You can share.
Just one little thing, that every time some healing occurs, we always remember you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jayesh. We're all a one team. Together, we are really expanding the science of healing, the science of soul, and all healing is self-healing. Do you agree, Dr. Jayesh? Every healing is a self-healing. Even though there is a healer who is like a facilitator facilitating the session, still, unless someone wants to be healed, they will not they will not be healed. Do you want to add some points on it, Dr. Jayesh, Dr. Rajan? Dr. Jayesh, can you speak something about this slide I'm showing? All healing is self-healing. I think it's in, you have to demute. Yeah.
What was the question? Can you repeat it for me, sir?
All healing is self-healing.
Yes, I completely agree with this statement that all healing is self-healing, because ultimately it is the life force that restores you back to health. It is like whatever disease that you are experiencing, you have not bought this disease from Amazon.com. This disease has come from your system. It has come from your life force. It has come from your unconscious resonances, and only your life force knows how to heal it, because that is the one that has created it in the first place. No disease is purchased from a shop or from Amazon.com. This is what I tell all my patients. Your system created it, and your system knows how to cure it. Only thing, you need a facilitator who can take you there.
That's wonderful, Dr. Jayesh, because you rightly said that unless someone is ready, also it won't happen. Unless someone is also is taking that ownership responsibility to heal, that won't happen. And we can't really purchase in Amazon, the healing process, and it is like a very active participation from the, it's more client based, means every person is also participating in the healing journey. A facilitator, a therapist, a healer is holding the space, is very rightly said, Dr. Jayesh. And everything is possible. Can you also share your thoughts on this, Dr. Jayesh.
Practice of medicine as and homeopathy or any other modalities I use, I only see this as creating a field of possibilities. You remain open to possibilities, and there are multiple possibilities. There is not one outcome. When you practice a medicine which is like, I know the way, this is the way you do it, then you have only one outcome. But when a medicine which is a vibrational medicine, you create possibilities. And I see myself as a facilitator who will create possibilities and always is open to a very surprising possibility that proves the science wrong, that proves your logic wrong, because I know that the life force does not follow any science. It has beautiful ways to heal itself. It has not traditional ways to heal himself. It has many, many ways to heal itself. That I deeply trust, Dr. Newton, what you have written. Consciousness heals. That does not mean that you be stupid and don't go to a doctor if you have a heart attack. I'm not saying this. Use your common sense, when to go and do that. Don't be crazy meditating when your heart is you need to get admitted to the ICU and get some treatment to resuscitate your heart. Don't be stupid, my dear friends. Whatever I'm saying is fine, but use your common sense. That there is a crisis when you need a crisis management, and after the crisis is over, you need to know why did you land up in this crisis and what can you do to lift your life force. Or even in a crisis, you can do both. Allopathic medicine, modern medicine is also a big blessing. It is a blessing how they treat the crisis. So everything has to go together and everything has its place. If you think that is better than this and this is better than that, it needed in the moment, one has to do that. But in the longer run, you have to be plugged in the process. This is what Dr. Newton has done to us. He has plugged us forever into a process.
Thank you, Dr. Jayesh. And limitless possibilities exist. That's why there is hope. We tap into those limitless possibilities in the healing journey, because there is not like it's not predictable. The outcomes are not predictable. If it is predictable, then it is not really, we are not living in an energetic universe. In the energetic universe, all the possibilities exist. Everything is so unpredictable. That's why healing is possible. Sometimes we say this is not possible, it is impossible. But in the world of spirituality, in our spirit world, everything is possible. In the energetic universe, everything is possible. And you rightly mentioned Dr. Jayesha. And I truly believe that every illness is an indirect teacher, a teacher who has come to us. And really, that illness, through that illness that we go through, experience it, we also grow leaps and bounds. Definitely, everyone will learn about certain things when an illness comes. They understand about their human nature. Oh, even though they are big people, strong people, but still, this illness makes us humble. It makes us be humane. We also understand the illness of others also. It makes us so heart center opens. Whoever goes through some kind of illness, they're bedridden for some time, they understand they can empathize with others' pain. And second thing is, the illness has always a teacher. It's a wonderful teacher that we find. The teachers can come in different ways. We generally try to search for human teachers, physical form teachers, but the teachers sometimes they come in the form of an illness. Maybe cancer could be a kind of wake up call for a person to learn certain things, to change their viewpoint, to completely reframe their thought process. Or else some kind of relationship issues could be a teacher, or some kind of pattern which is repeating in their life, financial troubles, maybe that's a teacher. So all these things are, I consider them as indirect teachers. Illnesses, definitely. For example, small, everything that we go through in our body is telling us it's a language. The symptoms, the sensations in the body is a language. Can you throw some light on this, Dr. Jayesha?
Single thing is surely a teacher, because everything has come to teach us something. This is very, very convincing, because every disease has some kind of a hidden benefit that a person is getting from having this illness. Many times the disease has a flip side, which helps us to cover up something, to not deal with something, to not face something. So disease becomes a very useful tool. For example, I will give you one example, very short and quick example, that a man was horribly restricted and controlled by his father when he was even 45 years. When he was 50 years, his father was still controlling him, not allowing him to do this, not allowing him to do that, and he felt very handicapped. Now, what did he feel? Handicapped. Now, his father died, Dr. Newton. I thought that that will be the joy of his life. He will come and I'll have to give him some medicine which will say ailments from joy, that now his problem. But actually what happened was, this man in 3 to 6 months got such a neurological disease called Wegener's granulomatosis that crippled him and even caused him a death-like condition with his legs paralyzed. He was brought on a wheelchair. So can you see this handicap? This father was actually helping him to kind of hide his inner incapabilities or inadequacies. And when his father died, his inadequacies were completely exposed. Now his body could only create a father inside of him. So his body created this handicap inside, because his story is to be handicapped. So by disappearance of this person who was causing the handicap, his body developed a father inside who made him handicapped. So that relationship with his father was a blessing for him, because he could blame it on his father. Now there is nobody to blame, so it comes on the body. Disease has a very strange chemistry. And when we gave the remedy on the basis of this understanding that he is not feeling adequate, that is his problem, and we worked on that, he was out of the wheelchair in 3 months, and it is now 8 or 9 years he's not had that disease again.
That's amazing, Dr. Jayesha. A beautiful case study that you shared about a person with the story being handicapped, and he manifested that reality, and immediately it is those symptoms appeared and the disease process started. I think most of the times that's what happens in our life. We carry certain stories, we convert everything to stories, and these stories affect us. Without these stories, we'll be free, we'll experience freedom. I think these modalities of healing, they're immensely beneficial because we understand the stories that we carry in the mind. We look at those stories in a different way. We understand the big picture. For example, the father outside, when he disappeared, the inner father appeared because he internalized everything. That's why I also find interesting coincidence with this case study. I found many case studies where when someone dies, after death, many people, they manifest symptoms in the body. I used to wonder why after the death of the father, he developed the almost like arthritis of the father. Father had arthritis, and after the death of the father, he had arthritis. Whatever symptoms of that person who passed away, they almost like internalize them. It's like a blind love kind of thing also in certain people. So it's very interesting to see this kind of phenomena. And thanks, Dr. Jayesh, and it's so good to hear exchange all the experiences. So all the Sangha members will be also getting benefited from this interaction with you. And I want to mention about this new approach. It's not new approach, almost like 3 decades or 4 decades. 4 decades back, one German doctor, his name is Dr. Reich Gerd Hamer. Dr. Hamer, he is known famous Dr. Reich Gerd Hamer. So this doctor,
Embryology. He works with embryology.
Yes, yes. So when his son died, he had 3 sons. One son died with a gunshot accidentally, and within 3 months he manifested testicular cancer. He himself is a doctor, a physician, and he's working with the oncology department. He's a cancer specialist. But within 3 months of passing away of his son, he manifested testicular cancer. He was so healthy till then. Then he wanted to understand why the cancer has come all of a sudden after the death of his son. Then he researched something, very, very beautiful findings. All the cancer patients that he had seen, their case studies and everything, he reviewed. He has interviewed them. He asked them one question: before the onset of this cancer, is there anything that triggered any memory that was very, very like debilitating or distressing to you? Any memory which really created some kind of emotional disturbance to you? Almost all of them reported that just few months before, some people few years before, they have experienced a kind of memory, a trigger. Like that's why we say that I was paralyzed with the fear. Then definitely that person is not handling that fear. If he suppresses that fear, what happens is within next few months, if it is going beyond the threshold point, it manifests as a paralysis also. He is going to experience a kind of paralyzed state. So we use in language, that certain medical conditions, like I'm paralyzed with fear, and it's a load on my back. We say that it's a heavy burden on my back, and it's a load on my back. Certain things we say, and it literally becomes that our body experiences it. We manifest those things. I highly recommend this Dr. Hamer's literature. Phenomenal. Right now, I'm going through these kinds of books that I want to show to you. This book is called The Psychic Roots of Disease. The Psychic Roots of Disease. The 5 Biological Laws of Nature. And the author is the student of Dr. Hamer, Zorn Ebel. So he has formed what is called as recall healing. Since almost few years onwards, I was studying about this German new medicine, because they were dealing with the cancers, with chronic illnesses, how these conflicts that we develop, psychological conflicts, will be expressed through our biological cells. Most of the illnesses have these kinds of conflicts. They have found amazing findings. They're able to help. I find that this is a completely new approach. This is part of the psychosomatic medicine. Whatever Dr. Jayesha we are doing, like the childhood memories, past life memories, and alternate parallel universe memories, and all these memories, somewhere when we are understanding where these conflicts originated and what is that conflict, when we bring it into the light of consciousness, the conflict resolution is happening. The inner conflicts result into this kind of biological expression of the illnesses. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend, dear friends, all of you, if you want to study Dr. Hamer, you can study his book. It's readily available, 5 Biological Laws of Nature. How a disease manifests in a 5 ways, five in a sequence. It's like a triggering event is there. First, initial specific trigger you find. After that, the disease manifests and it goes into an active phase and a silent pausing phase. Means sympathetic system will be very high at that point of time. The disease is proliferating, is expanding, it's in the body and it is spreading. And later on in the healing phase, it is a kind of recovery phase, a passive phase, a cold phase. And Dr. Hamer says bacteria, virus also are part of the healing journey. It's so much surprising. I felt so good about reading that. Sometimes I try to understand this medical science from the point of view of other sciences. For example, the farmers in the fields, they sometimes the earthworms also are farmers. They are also doing farming, and also microbes. It's very interesting. All the bacteria and virus and all of them are also part of this. In the soil, the more fertility comes when bacteria and virus and all those microbes are there. And they also participating in the farming process, farming, natural farming. In the same way, even our body, when it is trying to heal, even certain bacteria and virus, they also are companions. They are also healing us. We should not treat them as our enemies. Instead, know that they are coexisting with us. All bacteria and viruses in the world, they are also inhabiting in our bodies, and they are part of the healing process. Please read this, because still a lot of research is happening around the globe about the Dr. Hamer. Though he was put inside the prison for 3 times, he was imprisoned because what he was speaking, people thought he is mad, and but most of the these discoveries are initially ridiculed. People are judged, but I know this is something very great, master, and great contribution. Dear friends, today it's a great opportunity that we could interact with Dr. Jayesh and Dr. Rajul. And sir, let us meditate for some time with your presence, Dr. Rajul, Dr. Jayesh. Yes, please share something. Yeah.
Sir, can I ask you one last question? Okay, that question is why do many of us, that includes to some extent myself or Dr. Rajul or many other, our Sangha group, so many of us, on behalf of all of them, I'm asking one question. And that is that why do we tend to relapse into that same state again? We seem to come out of it, and then again, some of us seem to slip back again into it. Why does this recurrence of those same patterns occur? Even after some of us, I know, have done so many sessions and work on ourselves. Also with our patients in general, some things have gotten much better, but there are some things that seem to recur again.
Sure, Dr. Jayesh, I will share my views about this question. What I feel is many of us the relapse occurs, the recurrence of the old symptoms or recurrence of a pattern comes to us because first is anything which is a deep healing process. Sometimes it comes back to test again to make sure that we are integrating it properly. We need to integrate the lesson, we integrate the insights, we integrate the completely with our life, even our daily life also. So any kind of illness or a pattern that existing, it makes sure that we are integrating it properly, whether it is a simple headache, migraine, which is completely gone for 1 year. After 1 year it is recurring, because it is making sure that you are now living that new reality. You created the new reality because the disease itself is helping us towards the health. The disease, the intention of the illness is it wants us to experience the greater healing, a greater life. That limitation is like a trigger for us to understand that unlimited nature of us. Sometimes our mind in this three-dimensional plane, it is so habituated to think in a low frequency thoughts. We go into low vibrational levels. Sometimes we again doubt our own whatever insights that we gain. That's why when we have the self doubt, oh, it is really happened, it may come back, and we are not we have not assimilated and integrated it. What happens is immediately that recurrence happen. That's why we always insist anything to disappear, any kind of pattern to disappear, we have to at least make it a practice for 40 days. After a session or a powerful realization we get, that need to be integrated at least for 40 days. Every day we need to do sadhana practice, like in your deep silence meditation. Those ideas, insights, wisdom that you gain need to be contemplated, reflected, and you also need to put it into practice in daily life. I feel that's why many people they have this kind of recurrence. It's a kind of yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jaisha, for this question. And let us, dear friends, now meditate for some time, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time that's available. I think for 5 to 10 minutes we meditate now. Let's close our eyes and make yourselves very comfortable, joining your hands together, clasping your hands, interlocking your fingers, keeping them in your lap. And as you close your eyes, allow your body to experience relaxation. Relax as much as possible. Let go of all the tiredness. Let go of all the stress in the body. Our body is our beautiful vehicle, beautiful temple. And let us give attention now to our breathing, normal, natural breathing. As you inhale and exhale with all the awareness, making the mind empty and silent from all the routine habitual thoughts. Let us experience this beautiful silence within. Paying attention to your breathing, paying attention to your body. As your mind slows down, as the stress from your mind dissolves, instantly the relaxation, waves of relaxation you can find in your body too. And you'll also notice that your breath is slowing down too. Your breath slows down as your mind becomes calm and silent. Be one with your breathing. The breath is the energy, prana. Life force is absorbed by us with each breath. Let us honor this breath. Let us make this breath as our true companion, a true friend, a friend which will stay with us for the entire life. The day you are born, with the first breath you entered into this physical body, and this friend stays with us till the last moments of our life. Let us acknowledge this breath. Let us be totally aligned with our breathing and totally relax. And in this state of a deeper stillness and silence, whatever at this point of time that is needed, the most important insight that you need to know, it could be an insight that you need about the illness, insight that you need to know about your life situation or a pattern which is bothering you in your life. I'd like you to enter through this portal of silence to the place of wisdom which is there inside you, in the beyond time space, in the deeper place within you. All the wisdom is available, accessible. I'd like you to reach to the deeper place within you, where you can understand about certain things about your body or your life pattern, illness. With all the alertness, awareness, just allow yourself to reach to that place within you, the place of wisdom, the place of all knowing self, the place where all knowing self knows about everything. Your consciousness is unlimited. It resides beyond time space, is non-local and non-linear. Just allow yourself to reach to that place within you. If we are ready, the whole universe is ready to teach us. The wisdom is available from everywhere. Everything becomes a teacher. Illness becomes the teacher. The pattern becomes the teacher. Relationship problem becomes the teacher. Let your all-knowing self, the consciousness of you, and the place of wisdom bring you these deeper insights. What you need to know from this illness, from this pattern, from this situation from your life. Or else you can receive the wisdom insights about how can I be a better version, updated version of myself. If you're already experiencing health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, ask yourself, how can I be a better version of myself? From this place of deeper wisdom, gather all the insights. Meditation is a journey, an inner journey to understand this holographic nature of us. What is there above is there in below, as above, so below. Macrocosm is in the microcosm. All the solutions for all the problems are there in this microcosm, in this very moment, in this microseconds. If you go deep within you, from the place of wisdom, you can understand about it. You can be aware of whatever is happening in you, in your inner world, in your breathing, in your body, in the energy system of you. At the same time, you can become aware of many things that's happening around you, within you. Last 3 minutes, my dear friends, just be. Last 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Okay, my dear friends. Whenever you are ready, you may place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds, and slowly you may open your eyes. With all the insights that are gained, you can slowly open your eyes. That's wonderful, dear friends, that we all could meditate together. And the book that I recommended is Five Biological Laws of Nature by Dr. Hamer. It's also called German New Medicine. You can Google search about this book. It's a very interesting book. And dear friends, Now we are coming to the end, and I thank all of you for joining today, and each one of you. And if you have any kinds of doubts and you want to understand more things, you can check our website, qluglobal.org. That's our website. And there is a program that we conduct. It's called Soul Coach Transformation Program. Every year we conduct 2 batches, 2 times. It's a free residential program. It's open for everyone. Any country, anywhere, anyone can attend. And the 2 semesters, 20 days time to really heal yourself, to transform, to understand yourself. So you're most welcome, those who want to attend. You can also pass on the information to your friends if you have already done that program. And more details, if you want to know, you can also write to us. This is the website and email, info@qluglobal.org. That's the email. And Dr. Jayesh, we just, I think internet got dropped and he's back here with us.
Internet went into meditation.
Meditation, yes, yes, that's true. So, Dr. Jayesha, your final words, can you share with all the Sangha members here?
I think that we all go with this feeling that we will create possibilities for wellness and health for us and for all those who are around us.
Namaskar, thank you. And it's so wonderful to have this spiritual conversation and interaction with you, Dr. Rajul Shah, Dr. Jayesh Shah. And we shall meet again tomorrow. Again, we are going to have a session because Dr. Lakshmi's birthday tomorrow, May 6th is her birthday. So you're most welcome to join. 5 to 7 is the time where Dr. Lakshmi will be speaking to everyone. She will be sharing her feelings and her experiences. And thank you, dear friends, all of you. I thank you for joining today. We shall meet again soon. Tomorrow we can meet again.
Yes. Namaste.
Yes. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Newton. Thank you very